What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode. Coach Joe here with Heartletics.com. And most of you guys know that typically the type of content that I love to promote and produce has very little to do with fat loss, even though this is a health and fitness, channel, I should say. It has more so to do with the mindsets. Just because at the end of the day, I'm a firm believer that changing your mindset, your outlook on things, this is what's going to lead to long-term success. Anybody could do foolish things out there like cut out carbohydrates and lose a whole bunch of water weight, starve themselves and, do all this cardio, right? And lose a whole bunch of muscle in the process and eat next to nothing and, easily see some quick wins and let's say weight loss. But what's most important is not just the quick wins. What's most important is how can you effectively lose the weight and keep it off for good? And I think that's why so many coaching programs out there kind of lack that, is because anybody can give meal plans, anybody can give workouts, anybody can do, check-ins for their members and have a community group, right? But getting someone long-term success, that all boils down to your own mindset. That all boils down to, you breaking those self-limiting beliefs of maybe the past that's kind of holding you back from having that long-term success. And that's honestly the bread and butter. What we focus on the most at Heartletics is always going to be the mindset, because that's what leads to the most, success when it comes to somebody, going through our coaching program, is like who they changed and who they became during this process, not just what they got in terms of the results, the physical, So that's why I want to make sure that as we're talking and what we're going to be talking about in today's episode, you understand, right, that there's a big reason, I should say, why the fat loss and why the mindset needs to be 2 and 2 and how it needs to be combined, right, for long-term success. And so today's episode, we're going to be talking about leveling up your character. But in doing so, it's not just a perspective on how you view it in terms of your own mindset, right, viewing yourself as leveling up as a character, but actually going through just a whole practice for you that, in my opinion, you should definitely do. And it's going to require a pen and paper, and it's very simple. I want you to get creative. Pretend like you're a kid and you're just getting like arts and crafts and getting creative. Draw a picture even if you want, right? Like the more you can have fun with this exercise, in my opinion, the better it's going to be. And so I want you to just imagine yourself, maybe drawing yourself as like a superhero, right? And so what would that superhero look like? Would they have big muscles? Would they, be strong? Would they be big? Like jot all that down. Like try to get crystal clear. And I know it seems kind of foolish to begin with, but hear me out. The next traits that you want to look for is like skill sets. So it's like if you're ever playing a video game character, like I don't know, right? Any kind of video game where you have to level up as a character, there's several different attributes, right? You can do like, let's say, strength and speed and power, but then also what if there's ones that's kind of like based around, let's say, somebody's mindset. So maybe it's knowledge, maybe it's confidence, maybe it's discipline, maybe it's determination, maybe it's, consistency, right? Simple things like that. Like now you're getting kind of more in depth with it, right? In this little exercise, because now you're focusing on not just leveling yourself up physically, but also mentally and emotionally as well. Because that's a key driver that I feel like so many people lack and forget about half the time, is focusing on leveling up in those set areas. And so I want you to kind of think about it like, let's use Michael Jordan, for example, right? The greatest of all time for basketball. I'm sure, he was very diligent when it came to his training, right? Obviously, go watch The Last Dance on Netflix. Like, it shows, right, his work ethic. It shows his talent. It shows everything about that. But what you need to understand is through the cracks of watching, like, The Last Dance and seeing somebody like Michael Jordan's life is the confidence, right? Not just the determination, but the confidence. It's also the mindset, the determination, right? Of like, he knew he was going to be successful. And when he would lose some games, like he took that to heart. Anybody can show up to practice, dribble around a basketball, do some free throws, right? Like play around some scrimmage games, play around in the, basketball league. Anybody can do that. But with Michael Jordan, he took it very personal, right? He got all of his emotions involved, right? It's not just a full, of just mindset and full of, let's just say, the physical character skill sets, but he got involved with the emotional as well. And I think that's so important that, once again, so many times people lack when it comes to becoming that, 2.0 version of themselves. It's like, oh, well, who do you want to become? Like, what are your goals? And it's very easy for somebody to say, oh, I want to have more money, or I want to have more success, or I want to have a better health, or I want to have better love and better relationships. Anybody can say those things, right? But putting a feeling and emotion involved in it, that requires some thinking. That requires some deep thinking, honestly. And that's why I want you to make sure that you do this exercise with a pen and paper, because I feel like you're going to get your creative juices just kind of flowing in the right direction just by simply doing it. And the reason why this is so important, and I shared with this with one of my members on our coaching call one of the times we had, but it's like, imagine if, let's say, somebody was going to come to, visit me, let's say get a workout with me, okay, at the gym. If, let's say, somebody was, living in, I don't know, Florida, okay, and they were going to come up to Ohio and get a workout with me, what is going to get them to their goal? Is it putting in the GPS Ohio? Or is it putting in the GPS my exact location where I'm going to be at the gym to get a workout with me? It's like when you pinpoint on that accuracy, when you really peel back the layers a little bit and get deep with it, right, you can get farther with it. And that's the importance of doing this exercise. It's not just getting the physical 2.0 version of yourself, how that looks, everything like that, but getting the mixture of how it feels, how you see yourself. How does others see you? Ask yourself that question also as you're going through this exercise. How do I see myself? And then also, how do others see me? Get those creative juices flowing. Have fun with this. This is a great exercise, like I said, to really help you with your mindset, really help you level up. But when you get those emotional, attributes kind of like attached to this exercise and, getting through the cracks a little bit and just getting deep within yourself, you're going to find out that the overall goal that you probably had for yourself will change. And I think that's amazing because it means that you're leveling up and you're looking at your goals, you're looking at your life, the overall bigger picture, a little bit different. And I think it's a pretty cool exercise once you start to peel back the layers within yourself. So give it a try. Let me know. Swing back on YouTube or message me however you can find me. Give this exercise a try and letting me know if your goals have changed. I think that would be pretty cool to see how many people have a whole different perspective shift on their overall goals after doing this exercise. This is definitely how you level up and improve on those skill sets as your character, that 2.0 version of yourself. So with that being said, guys, this has been Coach Joe with Heartletics.com, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace out, Girl Scouts.